Please, Reacher, don't give Alan Ritchson's character another love interest in Season 4. Prime Video's Reacher has been a breakout success thanks to its brutal action, smart mysteries, and a lead who looks like he could bench press a pickup truck. Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Jack Reacher is pitch-perfect, stoic, intimidating, but quietly principled. However, as the series gears up for Season 4, one creative decision has fans nervous: the possibility of giving Reacher yet another love interest. Let's just say it. Please, Reacher, don't do it. Jack Reacher doesn't need romance, not in the traditional, scripted, multi-episode arc way. And adding another love interest now would be not only redundant, but potentially damaging to what makes the show and the characters so unique. Here's why Season 4 needs to steer clear of another romantic subplot for Reacher, and what it should focus on instead. 1. The Ritchson Reacher already has emotional baggage. One of the most compelling elements of Alan Ritchson's Reacher is that, beneath the bulk and brawn, there's a man scarred by his past. He's not broken, but he is bruised emotionally. That's been shown subtly in his interactions with Neagley, with his brother Joe's memory, and yes, with Roscoe in Season 1. The brief relationship between Reacher and Roscoe worked because it was brief. There was chemistry, sure. But more importantly, it underlined how incompatible Reacher is with anything resembling permanence. That parting scene, Roscoe handing Reacher her number and him never calling, is the real Reacher. It stung, but it was honest. To introduce another romance in Season 4 would undercut that emotional history. At this point, it's not believable that Reacher would fall head over heels again. If anything, the emotional cost of his past flings would make him more reserved, more hesitant, and less likely to risk anything close to intimacy. 2. Romance isn't what viewers tune in for. Let's face it, Reacher is not a romance. It's not even an action thriller with romantic elements. It's a gritty procedural driven by mystery, justice, and Reacher's code. Every time the show dips into romance, like with Roscoe in Season 1 or Carla Dixon in Season 2, it feels like a detour from what really works. Fans don't tune in to see Jack Reacher light candles or whisper sweet nothings. They want to see him track down killers, solve conspiracies, and dish out justice in a way that makes you wince and cheer at the same time. Adding a romantic subplot often distracts from that core appeal. Worse, it risks turning the show formulaic. If every season includes a Reacher's new love interest, then it starts to feel like just another trope-driven series. And Reacher, to its credit, has always stood apart from typical TV formulas. 3. Love interests don't work long-term in Reacher's world. Jack Reacher is a drifter. He doesn't do long-term. That's not a bug, it's a feature. It's part of what makes him such an interesting and tragic figure. He walks into trouble, fixes it, and walks away. That lifestyle doesn't lend itself to romance. The books by Lee Child make this crystal clear. Reacher occasionally has flings, sure, but he never sticks around. He never settles. Each woman he connects with is a moment in time, not a forever story. The show tried to capture that with Roscoe and even Dixon in Season 2, but both times it felt like they were tempting fate, trying to graft a traditional romantic arc onto a character who actively resists it. A new love interest in Season 4 would just repeat the same story: chemistry, connection, then departure. We've seen it already. Twice. A third time wouldn't be fresh. It would be predictable. 4. There's already a perfect emotional counterpart, Francis Neagley. If Reacher wants to deepen its emotional storytelling, it doesn't need romance, it already has Neagley. Maria Sten's portrayal of Francis Neagley has been one of the show's secret weapons. Her chemistry with Ritchson is electric, but not romantic. They're equals, both elite in their own ways, both loyal, and both carrying invisible wounds. Their bond is based on respect, shared history, and unspoken understanding. What makes Neagley so valuable is that she can serve as Reacher's conscience, his confidant, and his emotional mirror without needing to be his lover. That dynamic is rare and powerful. It gives Reacher depth without softening him. In fact, it would be a mistake to make Neagley a love interest too, because her power lies in what she represents, a connection beyond desire. She reminds us that Reacher can care deeply, even if he can't stay. 5. it's time to explore other kinds of vulnerability. Romance is just one kind of vulnerability, and frankly, the least interesting one for Jack Reacher. What's far more compelling is watching him wrestle with guilt, memory, loyalty, and isolation. Season 3 did a solid job showing that with his connection to the 110th Special Investigators. But there's more to mine. Season 4 could explore Reacher's roots. Maybe someone from his past resurfaces, not a flame, but a mentor or old friend turned enemy. Maybe a case hits too close to home and forces him to confront something he's buried. Those are the kinds of emotional stakes that Reacher excels at. Romance, on the other hand, too often feels like a shortcut, an easy way to show emotion. But Reacher doesn't need shortcuts. It needs challenges worthy of its complex lead. 6. Alan Ritchson's performance deserves better. Alan Ritchson has proven himself more than just a physically accurate Reacher. He's brought subtlety to a character that could easily be one note. His stillness, his deadpan wit, his flashes of grief or anger, they all show a performer capable of nuance. Giving him another cookie-cutter love interest isn't a challenge, it's a retread. What Ritchson needs are scenes that force Reacher to rethink his methods, his morality, or his future. Give him a villain who outsmarts him. A case that breaks his heart. A betrayal from someone he trusts. That's how you push a character forward. Not by tossing in a love interest, because the writers feel obligated to show a softer side. Reacher's softer side is there. You just have to know where to look. 7. The fans don't want it and they're vocal about it. It's not just critics or book purists who are wary of another romance arc. The fandom has spoken loudly on forums, Reddit threads, and social media. The general consensus? No more love interests. No more tacked-on romance. No more detours. Viewers appreciate the rare tone of Reacher, a show that doesn't feel the need to pair everyone off. And many fans of the books know that Reacher's relationships are fleeting for a reason. He doesn't have roots. He doesn't want them. By pushing romance again, the show risks alienating the very audience that made it a success in the first place. 8. There are better ways to add female characters. None of this is to say that Reacher should avoid strong female characters. Quite the opposite. But they don't all need to fall for him. Let them challenge him. Outsmart him. Save him. Let them be allies, rivals, even adversaries. But please, don't make them all romantic prospects. Roscoe worked because she had her own arc. Dixon had her own legacy. Neagley, most of all, has her own moral compass. That's the kind of female presence that enriches the show. Let Season 4 introduce a woman who's untouchable, either because she's the villain or because she's just not interested in Reacher romantically. That alone would be more surprising than any kiss scene could ever be. Conclusion. Reacher's heart is best left closed. At the end of the day, Jack Reacher isn't a man looking for love. He's looking for justice. For balance. For a world that makes sense, even if only for a moment. Giving him another love interest would dilute that mission. Reacher is at his best when he's alone in a diner, finishing black coffee, scanning the horizon, and deciding where to go next. That image, that restlessness, that refusal to settle is iconic. It's who he is. So please, Prime Video, if you're reading this, trust your character. Trust your lead. Trust your audience. And leave Jack. Season 4 has the